The death of Tiberius. Suetonius reports. Tiberius approached Rome only twice after his retirement to the island of Capri. Once he sailed in a trireme to an artificial lake and visited some gardens near the city. But he posted a guard of soldiers along the banks of the Tiber to keep back the crowds who might gather to meet him. On another occasion, he came along the Appian Way as far as the 7th milestone, but he did not approach any closer, and returned after getting a distant view of the city walls. It is not known why he did not enter Rome on the first occasion, but in the second instance he was warned by an alarming portent. Among his pets he had a large serpent, which he personally fed himself. He discovered that this creature was infested with parasites, which were consuming its flesh. This he took as a warning to beware the multitude in Rome. So he made a hasty return to Campania and fell ill at Astura. Recovering a little, he continued onward to Circe. To avoid any public suspicion that he might be unwell, Tiberius attended competitions arranged by the soldiers. He sat in his high audience chair on the edge of the stadium and threw darts down at a wild boar which had been released into the arena. But he was immediately affected by a sharp pain in his side. Then, when he was overheated, he was exposed to cold draughts, which increased his illness. Despite his worsening condition, he was able to travel as far as Misenum. There he made no change to his usual habits, and did not give up banqueting and participating in other pleasures. This was partly from a lack of self-denial, and partly to conceal his poor condition. The physician Charicles was taking a long-term leave of absence from imperial service. So, as he was leaving the banquet, he tried to take the hand of the emperor to kiss it in a farewell gesture. However, Tiberius, thinking that the physician was trying to feel his pulse, urged him to remain and take his place again at the banquet until late into the night. Even with his illness, Tiberius did not give up his custom of standing in the middle of the dining room with a lictor by his side and addressing all the guests by name as they said farewell. Meanwhile, Tiberius read the proceedings of the Senate and learnt that certain accused persons had been discharged rather than having their cases heard at a tribunal. He had previously provided the Senate with brief accounts about these people, stating that they had been named by an informer. He therefore cried out in anger that he was being held in contempt, and resolved to return immediately to Capri. However, he was detained by bad weather and the increasing violence of his illness. Some think that Caligula gave Tiberius a slow-acting poison that caused his body to waste away. Others say that the emperor was refused food when his fever abated and he was asking for nourishment. Some say that he regained consciousness after a blackout and asked for a ring that had been removed from his finger. In response, a pillow was pushed over his face to suffocate him. Seneca writes that Tiberius was aware of his approaching death, and he took off the ring as if to give it to someone, but he held on to it for a time, and then he put it back on his finger. Clenching his left hand, he lay motionless for a long time. Suddenly he called for his attendants, and when no one responded, he tried to rise and stand. But his strength failed him, and he collapsed dead near the couch. Tiberius died in the villa of Lucullus. It was the 17th day before the calends of April, in the consulship of Proculus and Nigrinus. He was 73, and it was the 23rd year of his reign. Suetonius, Life of Tiberius, passages 72 to 73.